Hello, lovely people. Michal Griks from Tantra Movement. Today, I would like to share with you masterclass on the community living. So, I'm living in the communities since more than 20 years, and I feel this is natural way of living. It happened to me that yes, it was pulling me to live together with my friends, with fellow activists, and when you move out to other countries, then it's nice that you start to create the family what is not there anymore for you, and then you start to choose to create the family on your own choices. So in this way, yes, maybe it's different. It's not better, not worse, but it's different family. And yeah, you choose to live with someone because you feel and you think in similar way, and you support each other in these similarities. So that's different than in normal family very often. So yes, I would like to share with you the ways how the communities, conscious communities, can grow, how it goes, what it's all about. So let me define maybe first what means conscious. So conscious means that people who decide either in the relationship or either in the family to live together, they decided for some reason, for a reason of growth, spiritual growth, to learn how to love better, grow, to learn how to be better in the relationship, in the living with people, this grow. So they decided to live for that reason. And yes, what it is, this consciousness. So consciousness, it's ideal, unconditional love, beautiful, no quarrels, no processes, just love, pure love when we are already in heaven. Yes. Unfortunately, in real life, we don't have it all the time. Nobody is enlightened 24/7. Nobody is unconditionally loving 24/7. We have up and downs moments, and so on and so on. And that's normal. So be conscious about that. It's also important. Loving yourself is also accepting yourself, the way how you are, how your relationship is, and how your community is. But however, there are some levels in our relationships or in the community. So let's focus today on the community, but I would like to mention that this very often relate to the conscious relationships as well, because yes, community is like extended relationship, and relationship is more condensed way of the community. So many things are relevant. What I'm gonna tell either to the relationship or either to the community. So, in this ideal state where we are very conscious and everybody is doing their spiritual practice, tantric love making, and everyone is loving and beautiful and practicing love, or tantra, or both, yes, being in conscious relationship. Yes, that's most of the people are conscious. So in this state, like as close as we are to this unconditional love, what we are driving into, like that's what the consciousness is about, to learn how to love better and doing it. So that's why also the intention of our tantra community, it's to learn how to love better and grow in it, and bit by bit improve by hard sharing, by situations, by circumstances. figure out and release all the conditionings and replace it with new choices, yes. So we are free to make choices. We are not held by our old conditionings to not to make those choices. So realizing, is it my choice or is it some conditions what someone told me that this way you have to choose? This is another direction, liberation. Yes, unconditional love, liberation, healing, realizing that, hey, we are here to heal our wounds, not to keep re-traumatizing them, not to keep doing them to each other, but to realize and heal them and be healer for each other, be community as a one big hospital for everyone who join us. And yes, so this is also a very important part of the consciousness, part of the spirituality, healing, expanding in love, growing in ecstasy. Yes, that's our tantric beautiful way. So we learn, we practice, use it, don't lose it method, and we learn, we practice tantra at our retreats, workshops. That's what our tantra movement community is about. So yes, I set few beautiful directions where the consciousness of the community or relationship go. So when it goes very beautifully, then it goes beautifully, and we don't need any reminders, any organizational meetings. I am very happy to experience few times in my community that there were people living there and you didn't have to ask anyone for do anything because they just knew what they want to do and they did for the community, for the family, for the common happiness, and you didn't have to ask, hey, wash your dishes or whatever. So this, when you have this kind of people around, it's beautiful. That's flows. That's conscious heaven. Yes, almost there. Of course, there were not always everything seen by the pink glasses. There were moments, even in this with these people, that. But in general, it was beautiful. So accepting of all this and being very grateful, being very happy for this. That yes, people take their own initiative. They do what they feel to do. That when someone see the work, it's there. It's not has to be reminded, organized, pushed into, and so and so. So that's like more idealistic. And I'm happy to experience that for sometimes in my life because I know it can work that way and it exists this way. So, but it's not always like this, and sometimes yes, we have yeah some people who maybe don't clean their dishes, and then we have to do some policy towards it. And yes, maybe at the beginning can be reminded at the heart sharing, what we have usually once a week, that hey, you know, like I'm upset when I come to the kitchen and I left it clean, and then I'm coming and there are always few dishes dirty. I feel disrespected with my work. And yes, and then you know, like in the heart sharing, this is great tool of our community. We can speak about it. Yeah, we don't have to do it every day because we have once a week. Yes, so we can hold a little bit that we don't have to deal with every little thing every day. So yeah, if you have to, yeah, you have to, but you, with the knowing that there would be hard sharing every week, we can leave it when everyone would hear us, and in this way, yes, as a community, as everyone can relate to it, and even without pointing who did it, who didn't, and so on, we can already solve the issue by some people saying, okay, how about we make this solution? How about that solution? Maybe that would be enough that you already share that at the hard sharing, the person will be conscious enough, like, hey, okay, that's enough. You gave me reminder. I didn't knew that I'm upsetting you so much. Maybe I did some other work, so I was tired, and or I do other work, and I felt like, okay, that give me a bit way of not have to do the dishes, and yeah, maybe if it's outspoken, maybe it could be even accepted, because yes, that person maybe do very important work that the dishes can do someone else, and so on, and that's what also happened, this kind of agreements in our community. But it's also good to be humble, and very often it also works like what like someone said at one of the hard sharing, even the monks have to clean their toilet, yes, and that's very true, and what Gandhi said also, like, hey, you are the leader, but you still clean your toilet, yes, and so of course this is also important to take into account, and so on. So, but sometimes this hard sharing, it doesn't work on. You still have to kind of like every week it's the same thing on the hard sharing. People still do not make the dishes. So in this case, the consciousness of the community is a bit lower. We have to put reminders, and then how low we like to go. Yeah, we can put the reminders everywhere, like, hey, clean your dishes, your mom doesn't live here, heal your inner child wound, do your tasks, and etc. But honestly, like this, living in the communities where you see everywhere reminders, it's not always for me seems to be very conscious, because people should do those things people should do those things without reminders, and that's what the consciousness is about, not having the school around, and etc etc. So yes, but yeah, we are living, we are all human beings, so sometimes it's okay. But by saying this, I want to show where we like to grow, and grow into the higher consciousness rather than the lower consciousness. So other policies could be like, yes, organizing meetings, and that's kind of like even very conscious community. You have to have the practical meetings where you speak about how you deal with the current situation. Maybe there are some circumstances what we have to react, differently, and we have to do the organizational meeting. Maybe we have some bigger retreat coming in, and then we have to uh, feel and think, prepare everything beforehand in other way than our daily living. So sometimes we have to do these organizational meetings, and yes, if they are regular, then we figure out always, and we have the reminders always there. So, but sometimes it happens that people, even their reminder and so on and so on, they still don't do. And what to do with those people? Yes, and then we go lower, lower. We have to execute, like, okay, like, yes, you don't do your things for a very long time. Why when promise, where we agree to live together and do things together, why you don't do? And people have very, very different excuses sometimes, like very different. And sometimes their spirituality is so bypassing that they can even tell you, like, hey, I'm a free person. I don't have to pay with my work for that I'm living here. I don't have to do anything. I'm free person, and all those things. And yes, like it's a rebel who's rebelling against, actually, yes, beautiful thing what you established for many years. The community is there, settled, and there is some person who is instead of rebelling against weapon industry or any other bad things on the world, they're rebelling to the school what is teaching love, what is giving them roof above their head, and what is yeah, taking care for so many people in the loving way, and the way that, yes, we learn and we love better and better. So what to do with those people? It's like sometimes you have to realize, like you have one bad apple, and it goes like this, that these bad apples are contaminating the others. It's the other people. I notice, like, when there's one person who doesn't do so much or do less, when people see it, they also do less. And when they do less, more people see, oh, the other people do less, and this is spiraling down the community. So before entering any community, please ask yourself, see that people build up already some structure there, and there is family living together in more or less harmonious way. So don't be this bad apple and do not destroy this harmony by you stepping in and trying to sneak out your way of laziness. So go do something else. Don't destroy this beautiful structure, beautiful family, beautiful harmony. Please. If you have an issue with something, share it up front. Then we know, okay, you have your inner father wounds, inner mother wounds, what are very often kind of triggered by people who are trying to organize things, like the people who are the main initiators of the community, like me, being a main teacher, and so on and so on. So if you are triggered by someone telling you, hey, look, there is some job to do. Look, I work 8-9 hours. You're supposed to work only 2 3 and you still didn't do even half of it. So could you please do? And if you are triggered by this, that someone is reminding you or asking you, hey, do something, then yes, see that it's not me who did the wound. Yes, it's not someone else who is trying to organize the people in the community make the wound to you. It's probably maybe your parents, but we are not your parents. Be aware. We had very clear agreement when you're entering the community that for each day of living here, for receiving the retreats, workshop, the teachings, you do some work in exchange. So we had this agreement that you do some work in exchange, and this agreement is already cutting off so before you join the community, we had agreement that you do some work for living here, for receiving the teachings, and this
No, noi intrăm în mesageria, facciați sat, nu am ieșit din sat, adică am ieșit din sat și... Da, nu mai am mers până la bar, am băut pe bar. Ăla cu jeepul verde, cine e ăla cu jeepul verde care te poți să strângi la mine?
Era verde, era negru.
Negru? Negru?
Negru, da.
Nu, dar să mai vină dacă se strânge, că pe iau casă la el, cu sapa, cu casa și cu la mine.
So before you join the community, we had some agreement at the beginning that you do something for the family, for the Tantra movement, in exchange for you living with us and participating in the retreats, workshops, teachings. And realize that father, mother would not ask you to do some job for living with them. Yes, it's this make it very clear that we are not your parents. Yes, we are your family, of your friends. We like to be like family, but we don't own you anything, and you don't own us anything. So if we make agreement, we keep this agreement. Like you go to the shop, you see the price, you pay the price. It's very simple like that. It's a exchange. Yes, that's how we can circulate with the harmony. Some people do this, some people do that, some people maintain, and thankful that we can maintain the school and grow together and create this beautiful living together. This is how it works. From the root chakra, you have to realize that, hey, there is some stable space, security, but you have to support that by keeping the agreement. Yeah. So coming back to your wounds, if you share it, okay, this is my wound, then we can deal with it. Yes, then we can ask you, okay, what would be the best way for us to what you would expect from your best ideal father that would act for you differently in this concept. And then we consciously can actually act your best ideal father scenario and so. But not in the cost of all the community. Yes, it's not like that you will say like, oh yes, I have my father wound, my father told me that I had to do this and that, and if I didn't, if he kicked me out from the home, and then we cannot repeat this scenario. No, you cannot repeat that scenario. Yes, you are living not with your father, you are an adult person, and if you like to heal your inner child wounds, you have to act as an adult person. So if we have agreement, you keep that agreement and everybody is happy and you grow through it. Yes, not by repeating the same scenario, but it's up to you to heal that wound, not up to us. Yes, so like all the wounds. So so this is very important to realize who is the wounded person who is triggering, and when you realize, then you can do things differently, more mature, more. But one person have to decide. Okay, I'm able to hold the space for that healing, and the other person have to also realize. Okay, I'm I'm adult enough that I can uh, I can hold, I can grow through this wound and do things differently that it happened in my family. Yes, so that's a bit it. So I will tell you a few the important tools for the what we use in the our community. I have two dogs here. Completely. Okay, so one of the great tools what we use it's mediation. So mediation it's so I would like to share with you one of the great important tools what we use in the community. It's the mediation. So very often when there is this conflict of inner child and inner father and so on, and there are two different points of views coming from two different backgrounds, sometimes two different wounds and so on, that there is mediation needed to let people, two sides of the conflict, express themselves and being seen from the person who is neutral in the situation and who can see everything happening from the helicopter view, like from the bigger picture. That person holds the space for two sides. It can be two people being mediating. It can be few people being as a side in the mediation and few people on the other side of the mediation. But the idea is that both sides are expressing their feelings about what's happening, and the person who is holding the mediation, it's holding the space for them, that they don't shout to each other, that they have more or less the same amount of time to express themselves, that they can also see sometimes the wrongs, so that person can also make realize that, hey, this it's maybe coming from your inner child wound, this is maybe coming from your inner father wound. So how we gonna solve it? Yes, we can maybe solve it at the mediation already by going. The mediator can propose us some meditation or some other method to heal that issue in the spot. Or yes, we can discuss, and mediator can give us the advice to solve this issue, to live in the harmony with this issue. Even sometimes we do not agree, we keep do not agreeing, but at least we can relate to each other, and in this way we can find the ways how to live as a family. In the family also, people do not agree always, very often, but they have to learn how to live together. So this is not about who is gonna win the mediation, who is gonna be punished, or who's right, who is wrong. It's about usually when I experience being as a mediator or as a one of the side of the mediation, um, either the bad guy, the good guy, or whatever guy, it's not about who is winning, who is losing. It's about uh, connecting, funding the friendship. It's about uh, understanding each other, about relating to each other better. It's about creating better friendship beyond our different points of views, differences, creating the harmony in life, inner dialogue instead of inner fight, inner dominancy, like what Tantra always does. So, yes, use this method in your relationship. Ask someone when you have conflict. You can always ask someone. Mediation tool is very good tool for the relationships. Also, find someone who you both agree to mediate between you. It's best if someone is experienced with the topics what you are talking about. Another beautiful tool what we used is the heart sharing. So I mentioned it before, but I would like to tell you a little bit more about. So heart sharings are weekly gatherings, or if we feel to do it for special occasion because something happened, or maybe to do it more often. Heart sharings are the gatherings where we sit together in the circle and we pass our talking couple, tradition of talking stick, native Indian tradition that we pass. Whoever have the couple or the stick, it's speaking, and all others are listening. And we speak out. What are our emotions? Want to speak out about last week. So it can be something challenging we're going through. Yes, maybe we have some issue in our relationship and we would like to share to our family, to ask them for advice, for solution. Maybe there is something beautiful and that actually our relationship is going very good, or we have succeeded very beautiful workshop, and yes, everything went beautiful, and you like to share gratitude to the volunteers, to the people who supported you, who participated in the retreat, that they were very supportive and good, and it was very nice help, and so on and so on. So it can be anything, and then especially when you have some issue, maybe you have some issue with someone in the community, then you can ask others for the advice. In our community we have experienced tantra teachers, some therapists, some wise people who are living in the communities, in families, in relationships for some time. they may give you some nice advice. You may also say, no, I don't need advice. It's enough that I just share that. And when you speak out your things, what are bothering you, it's already part of the healing that some people can hear. And also, when they hear, they can relate to you much better, and they can realize, okay, oh yeah, the guy broke with his girlfriend last week, so we can be more understanding why he's maybe holding back a little bit, why he is a bit more grumpy recently, and then we don't have to be not understanding to him so much. So this kind of things helps, yes. So this is one of the tool to keep the community conscious, to not to have to deal with every little issue, emotional issue every day, but keep it for the gathering where everyone can hear it and everyone can relate to it and can be solved or dissolve also, yes. So yes, I love my community. I'm happy that we continue. People living there for years. Some people coming there for years. Kopangan, it's a seasonal island, so people circulating. But we always happy that people coming back to us. It means they keep loving us and so on. And I know that living in the community, especially in the tantric community, it really makes you spiritually grow big time. As someone said, you like to check how spiritual you are, live with your family. And yes, that's what it is. When you live in the community, you live with your family, and then you have to face your spirituality. It's sometimes maybe easy to just lock yourself in the cave and meditate and be spiritual, but living and facing your triggers and growing through them, this would make you spiritual much faster sometimes, yes. So that's why we're choosing for it. That's why we feel this is the new way of living together, coming back to living in the tribe, but this time in new, beautiful, more conscious choices. Growing together, learning how to love better, practicing Tantra, um, sharing love, improving the relationship, your living with other beautiful relationships together in one family, and seeing that things are possible, things are much better when you do things together, things are much more powerful when you do things together, and together is much more fun. And of course, we are not talking here about creating some orgy, because this is completely misunderstanding of tantric community. Our communities are supporting the conscious relationships and growing within them, and either on the workshops or in their or on in, as a living together. Yes, we happy to make the relationship stronger and not just fucking around. But yeah, um, love making is good for us, and we are happy to have it. The couples making love um, just for themselves and being happy in tantric way, doing it in tantric way, practicing tantra, supporting each other on the tantric path, participating together in the retreats, and where we work on our relationships, and so it's amazing. It's beautiful to live in such a strong connection, and whoever lived in our community can say that this is one of the most intense time for spiritual growth, for grow in the relationship, for grow in love. So whenever you feel calling, you're welcome to come join us or to set up your own community. Thank you that you are